Center. I'm Geoff Kim. Trace Fowler to join me in just a moment. If you look at Survivor in the dictionary, you'll see both Lakota East and LaSalle. Both teams were down with 2 seconds to play in the district finals. Both came away winners. The Thunderhawks got 2 huge free throws from Alex Mangold with 1.6 to go, defeating Beaver Creek on Sunday 33-32. Meanwhile, a Devin Taylor buzzer beater sent the Lancers into overtime. They pulled away from St. X 60-52. So as we bring in Trace, let's start with Lakota East. 16 of their 33 points on Sunday came from Nate Johnson. And while the Thunderhawks may not need him to be their leading scorer, they do need him to get started early to set the tone.
Yeah, I think that the last game that obviously they had played and had success in against Beaver Creek, he did get off to a good start, right? And it's kind of the opposite situation when they played Turpin. I think for East, in my opinion, is that they have a multitude of guys that can contribute, whether it's Coles, whether it's Furman, whether it's Howard, we've seen it sometimes, the lefty stroke, or Mangold down low. So it's a kind of feast or famine sometimes on the offensive end. It seems like that for East. But I like their chances based off the fact that both of these teams should feel like they're playing with some house money.
And meanwhile, the Lancers made Pat Cody's 50th victory at LaSalle a memorable one, giving him a district title. With how much they exerted on Sunday, is there fear that they'll come out flat? Or, as you had just mentioned, will they come out and play with house money?
No, I don't think they'll play flat at all. Obviously, there's not the atmosphere you traditionally would see in a regional semifinal game for obvious reasons. We've talked about that at length. But I don't foresee them coming out flat. I think that they're just too good of a team. They have too many guys. We talked about East having a multitude of guys. LaSalle's got kind of like the Four Horsemen to a certain extent, right?
Yes.
A multitude of guys that can absolutely play. Schneider, I came off incredibly impressed with him the other night when we were watching. Then you got a guy like Taylor who turns into the hero, and everybody's going to talk about Lovett and Eddings, but ultimately for us, I'm appreciative again just to be able to witness the game live, and I know that for all the viewers, hopefully we'll do our best to bring that action home.
We can't wait. Here's the starters for this ball game. First for the LaSalle Lancers, 23-3, the 3 seed. Their head coach is Pat Cody in his 3rd year, 50-25. The guards are number 2, Justin Lovett, 6 foot tall, a junior. Number 3, Jalen Lemons, 5'10", a senior. And number 13, Derek Edding, 6'2", a senior. Up front, it's number 0, Jeffrey Queen Jr., a 6'2", senior. And number 10, Aiden Schneider, 6'3", a junior. Lakota East, the Thunderhawks are 24-2. They're the 2 seed in the Cincy region. Their head coach is Clint Adkins, or if you will, Trace Fowler's look-alike. Clint is 116-36 in his 6th year with the program. 3 guards here. Number 3, Jared McCorkle, 6'1", a senior. Number 5, Jaden Cole, 6'2", just a sophomore. And number 34, Nate Johnson, 6'3", a junior. Up front, it's number 15, Caden Furman, 6'3", a senior. And playing the pivot is number 11, Alex Mangold, 6'7", a senior. Just about set to go here in this one. The last time Lakota East reached the 5th round, they fell to Westerville South on March 17, 2011, 64-58. It was March 15, 2017 for LaSalle, defeating Springfield 47-46 the last time they reached the 5th.
As we get ready to start here, one thing I do want to bring up is just, not the officiating in a negative way, but just how they're going to call this basketball game. These 2 teams are going to play physical as you possibly could imagine, and if they're going to call fouls, we might find ourselves in the bonus awfully quickly. Then it will turn into a little bit of a free throw competition. I hope that's not the case. I think that they're going to let them play just a little bit, and rightfully so. It matches the style to let them play.
It absolutely does. The home whites for Lakota East and the red for LaSalle. It'll be Justin Lovett, the jump center with Alex Mangold. A fever pitch from the friends and family crowd here tonight at the Cintas Center. Ball's in the air. Tap is controlled by Nate Johnson of the Thunderhawks, and away we go, left to right.
As we expected, man-to-man defense.
Coles has it out on the left side pocket, returns it up high. Furman gets a quick touch, and now Jared McCorkle returning it back to Johnson. We're underway here at the Cintas Center, the nightcap of this regional semifinal double dip. Johnson has it left side pocket around Lemons. He skips it and throws it away into the hands of Jeffrey Queen Jr., and he'll wait for the rest of his troops. LaSalle gets their first crack on offense with Derek Eddings running the point, and now on over for Lovett.
You're going to see a lot of screens in this offense that LaSalle runs, a lot of movement.
Queen has it back on over for Lemons, and now on over for his running mate at guard, Jalen Lemmings. They keep it out on high, just a minute gone by, no score, just getting underway here in the nightcap. Lemons checked by Jared McCorkle. He's been a hell of an on-the-ball defender throughout this season.
That he has. Points are going to be a premium tonight. Similar to how the tickets were for this game, I assume.
Absolutely. Eddings returns it up high as he was shut off by Furman. They work it inside, nearly batted away, but saved by Queen. He throws it up, and no good. We got a foul. With 6:34 to play here in this opening quarter.
Looks like they're going to get maybe Coles.
They will. That's his first, and obviously the team's first. It's on the shot, and here's Jeffrey Queen Jr., 6'2" senior, averaging 9 points. In these playoffs, he gets the first point of the ballgame, 1-0 LaSalle. Now 5 for 8, now 6 of 9 at the charity stripe here in the playoffs. 2-0 LaSalle. And token full court pressure, Johnson will handle.
There's that screen that Alex Mangold likes to set at the top of the key. You got a communicator, you'll run into a brick wall.
Furman returns it up high. Cole's top of the key. So Queen with 2 quick free throws here to get the scoring underway here at the Cintas Center. Johnson, nice step around. He'll kick it on out. Here's a 3 from the corner. Knock it down.
Yeah, that's the mismatch, if you will, for East. The dribble drive by Johnson can open up lanes for other guys, and Coles took advantage of it right there.
First lead change. Coles with the trifecta. 3-2. Lovett handles up high against Caden Furman. Eddings, and now Lemons back on over for Eddings up high on the right. And again, stern man defense here by East. Into the lane goes Lemons, no good. Rebound, putback is no good. He draws a double low on the right. Kick ball out to you. Hopefully you can still hear us. I can't hear myself yet at this point, as the ball came right to us, and now we got some audio back. Thank you very much. 3-2 is your score. Here's a long jumper from Eddings, no good. The rebound to McCorkle, and here comes East.
Well, of all the things tonight, we talked about the opportunity to make sure that the broadcast goes smoothly, all the technology works. First possession, we get a Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, you name the soccer player, kick right in our face.
Right.
And I thought our mixer broke right from the start. Luckily for us, it didn't, I don't believe.
I'm so glad we didn't have a photographer on us, because Trace had a look of panic that you wouldn't believe as we nearly had a turnover. We got a foul instead.
I caught it. It just wasn't quick enough. But I digress. We can get back to the game. And
that's the first on McCorkle, by the way. 2 quick team fouls against the Thunderhawks. Eddings has it top of the key. Furman has the assignment on him. A lot of Lovett, a lot of Lemons out on the perimeter. It's Lemons with the ball, the 5'10 senior.
Look at the defense by Coles.
Lovett up high on the right. And now Aiden Schneider finally gets a real touch. Outside to Eddings.
They had a mismatch there. Mangold on Lovett. And he decided to give it away to Eddings.
Eddings backs off completely on the dribble right to the half-court line.
This is a mismatch. They have to switch at some point off of this.
Queen has it top of the key, working on Mangold. Shut off inside the free throw line and out to Eddings once more.
That was a good job by Mangold. Mangold's looking for somebody to come help him, and he's yelling. He finally gets the switch.
3-2 the score here as we come up on the halfway point of this quick-moving first period. Lemons puts it on the deck around McCorkle, back outside for Queen. On the deck, into the lane, and out to Schneider. Quick touch pass back to Eddings. Eddings swings it outside. Here's a three off the left wing, knock it down. Jalen Lemons with a trifecta. 5-3, another lead change in this ballgame. Our second of this first quarter. Furman has it. Johnson gets a touch. We had talked about him wanting to get a quick start. Low on the right, kicks it on out. Furman thought about three.
He missed it.
They'll have to reset with Coles. Jaden around in the arc, high-low for Mangold, threw it away.
Yeah, Furman was trying to be unselfish there, but he should have probably put the shot up.
Long-range shot for Queen, no good. Ball's tapped out of bounds on the baseline. We'll come up front.
First couple subs as they sub in Atkins for Coles, and I'd assume Howard. Yep, Howard for McCorkle.
Kind of our normal rotation that we've seen from Lakota East.
And if I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I've not found a on-ball defender as good as Trevor Howard.
You know, and in getting to talk with some of the Lakota East parents, they were really appreciative of the fact that we talk a lot about Trevor. The fact that we care about the defense and not just the offense and the points. Caden back out high. Nate Johnson, top of the key. Into the lane, shut off, and unforced turnover. We head the other way. 5-3 with 2:51 left to play here in this opening quarter.
That ball got a little bit away from him and just out of the outreach arms of Howard, and another turnover, but something you'd expect, a little bit of nerves to begin the game for sure.
It's Lovett with the ball, top of the key. You remember him in the Withrow game in the opening round? He had a couple dunks in that second quarter that really set the tone for LaSalle the rest of these playoffs so far. He has the ball, top of the key. Eddings has it up high. He's been the leading scorer for this team here in the playoffs with about 13 a ball game. Coming up on 2 minutes left to play here in this first period. 5-3 LaSalle. Lemons outside, Queen to the rack, missed the shot, ball's tapped out, saved by Snyder. He throws it up, and it's a blocking call.
Schneider just playing grown man basketball down here underneath.
Trevor Howard will pick up the personal. That's his first, the team's third. And Schneider goes to the line for the bonus. He's showing no ill effects from the dunk and the landing from the last game.
Still wearing them SpongeBob-esque shoes as well.
No good on the bonus. Ball tapped around, saved by Howard. 7-3, and we got a foul on the other end.
Yeah, it looks like, fortunately for Johnson, he's going to pick up a blocking call because they didn't get him for the foul here underneath. They got Coles instead, and that time it was a block. So could have had 2 fouls on him already, instead has none.
Charlie Kenrich waiting to come on in for Lakota East, so they're freely substituting here in this one. And Johnson gets his first point of the night. I don't think we mentioned it. Foul was on Jalen Lemons. That's his first, the team's first. And the second one's good here for Nate Johnson, who's been a 65% shooter at the stripe here in the postseason. So Coles is back in as well.
I'm going to say, let's see if LaSalle decides to try to use some of the switching that East is providing right now. They're switching some of these screens, and when you got a guy like Lovett on a big man, that can create an opportunity for LaSalle.
Here's Snyder, a high-low for Queen, and we got something underneath the hoop, and we turn it over.
Yeah, Queen Jr. pushed off of Howard there underneath, and they're going to get an offensive foul on Queen Jr., and turnover, another turnover as they start to seem to mount up just a little bit here in this first quarter.
Furman checks out, and Nate Johnson, as soon as he had left for the bench, he checks back in. He has the ball. Quickens the pace, looking for an avenue. Now stuck at the free throw line, back outside for Nathan Adkins. Nate is the coach's son, of course. And they rotate back around for Johnson, and now Jaden Coles.
Yeah, that's
Howard.
going to be an offensive foul down low.
Look like they're going to get Kenrich on this. He was the closest man down on the block.
Certainly was Kendrick. Kendrick was a little aggressive in the lane, felt like he had a little bit of a strength opportunity down below, and anytime you take the forearm to the chest and you move them more than a few feet, they're probably going to get you for an offensive foul, and they did just there.
Well, and of course you can see the broad shoulders on Kenrich, a football player, a running back for Lakota East. Hit a couple of big picks in the last game against Beaver Creek. Remember that? Here's a drive. Swings into the lane. Here's a kick out to Eddings. Eddings drives. He throws it up. Is it a charge or is it a blocking call?
One ref was pointing towards the other, and one's finally going to make the call. They are going to get a block.
So Kenrich will pick up his second quick. Eddings throws the first one up, no good. He's committed to Thomas More next year. So he'll be playing some college hoops. Eddings in the 4 plus games, coming in averaging 13 a game in these playoffs. He makes 1 of 2. 8-5, under a minute to play here in this first quarter. LaSalle with a 3-point lead. Johnson with the ball, checked by Eddings. Coles, now Howard up high on the right point. Hit a couple big threes off the bench against Turpin a couple games ago.
That he did, and every time East gets the ball down towards the end of a quarter, you always look up, and it doesn't seem like they should be taking the last shot, but they sometimes do. Starting to feel like the case here, doesn't it?
Adkins thinking about 3, now gives back Johnson, 22 to play.
Yeah, they're going to just take the last shot of this quarter if all goes according to plan.
Eddings giving him all the room he can handle. 10 to play here in this first quarter. Now they play in on him. He draws the double team. Skip pass back to the left side. Coles puts it on the deck, and he throws it away to Eddings. Eddings gives it up to Wergers, and now to Queen. He throws it up. It won't count, and this first quarter has come to a close. 8-5, the Lancers over the Thunderhawks here in this regional semifinal. This is the March to Columbus here on Chatterbox Live. 8-5 here at the Cintas Center, along with Trace Fowler. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us for the March to Columbus here on Chatterbox Live. The regional semifinals, the nightcap here in this one. In the first game of this double dip, it was the number 1 seed in this whole thing, Moeller. 54-42 winners over Centerville. Logan Duncombe led the way with 15 points.
That he did. He's just an impressive player. The length that he has and the athleticism that he has, it can impress you. And then you add in the skill set. I mean, he took a ball on the baseline and just spun it off the glass like he's a guard. But back to this.
Lemons, I beg your pardon, love it. Now they play it outside to Schneider and returns it up high to Eddings. Out to the sideline. And again, that stern man-to-man on-the-ball defense that Lakota East boldly shows off.
What they do, and right now there's just not a whole lot of action for LaSalle going to the rim. And
Eddings to the rack.
As soon as I say that, Edding finds a little bit of a sliver between that East defense, and no call on the McCorkle attempted charge there.
10-5, double your pleasure for the Lancers. 3 points now for Derek Eddings.
Ooh.
Johnson pumps, he throws inside for Mangold. Off the glass, he gets it back, he throws it up, no good. Love it. Now up for Queen, up high on the right. A 5-point lead, a minute gone by here in the second quarter.
Taking their time on the perimeter here as they did the last go around.
Schneider, right of the key, 18 feet away.
That's a 3-point bucket right there for Schneider, and LaSalle's making a little bit of a run. East is going to have to answer here on the offensive end.
I forget sometimes about the high school line and the college line. Yeah. He was outside. It's a 3, 13-5.
It can be confusing. I think they had to paint the white line, or however they did it. I think they had to put it in just for this.
McCorkle has it, plays it on over. for Howard. Returns it for Furman and swings it on over for Johnson up high on the right. And now we've got a tie-up.
That we do. And
great job by Lemons to tie up Trevor Howard. So it's not very often that we see Trevor get a taste of his own medicine defensively.
He certainly did there. And LaSalle's physical. I mean, the Lancers and the Hawks, they mirror each other pretty well. I mean, it's right now there's a little bit of a lead, but it wouldn't surprise me if this thing just said nip and tuck the whole way through.
McCorkle plays it on over for Howard, returns it to Furman, puts it on the deck. Checked by Queen. He goes outside on the left. McCorkle making a move. Now Furman outside to the free throw line. Back over for McCorkle. Taking their time, working into Mangold, and now we've got some contact down on the block.
It's like they got the big man Wergers on the shove of Mangold from behind. That'll be their fifth. I should say third team foul.
The 2 seed against the 3 seed here in this regional semifinal. I don't know about you, Trace, but to me, outside of what we'll see next in the regional final, this is the most anticipated game so far of these playoffs. No good for 3 for Furman. The putback attempt by McCorkle, and he'll go to the line.
That he will, and I think it's a good opportunity there for East to get second chance points. I wasn't sure how many times they were going to get an opportunity to pull down an offensive rebound tonight just based off of the length of LaSalle. But of the unlikeliest of guys, McCorkle's the one that pulls down an offensive board and goes to the line.
No good on the first. He came in shooting 8 of 12 at the line, just about 67%. He lets fly in the second, 1 of 2. That breaks the drought. It's a little 5-0 run by LaSalle broken. It's 13-6. Snyder up high on the right. Eddings around the arc and now on over for Lovett. Eddings high-low for Snyder. A nice dip move. In on Mangold. Can't get around Big Al. And Alex gets the rebound.
That he does. See if Johnson tries to get to the hole and get to the line.
He penetrates. He lost it. It's in the hands of Devin Taylor, who's in the ball game. He goes to Lovett. He lays it in.
One way to steal points in a basketball game in which points are going to be at a premium is to get them in transition off of turnovers, and LaSalle's done a good job of that here to start this game.
Mangold sets a screen for Johnson up high. Furman dumps it in for Mangold. He bumps into Eddings. He works around it. He goes up strong. He drew the foul. And I think that's what you're going to have to do now to get some offensive rhythm down by 9.
Yeah, certainly he did a good job of getting it down to him. Furman did. And then from there, Mangold just went to work. He might have gotten away with perhaps dragging that pivot foot just a little bit, but oftentimes the big men do get a benefit of the doubt down there, and we'll see if he can't go to the line and cut this lead.
Alex lets fly, and just like the way he ended the game against Beaver Creek a couple days ago, he gets the first. He'd come in, shooting 7 of 8 at the stripe. He gets them both. Alex has his first 2, 15-8 your score. Here's Lemons with the ball up high on the right. McCorkle has the initial assignment on him. And they spread out to a man defense. He kicks it on out for Lovett. Stuck at the free throw line, spins around against a double team, and throws it outside. Here's a 3 straight on!
Big time shots from the outside for LaSalle right now. They're starting to stretch that defense. Schneider hits one, and LaSalle hits another one.
Lemons makes it a 10-point margin, 18-8. Lemons has 6 in this contest. McCorkle up high on the left, halfway through the second period. Coles looking inside, surveying, gives McCorkle once more, and now dumps it off to the corner where Furman collects it. Returns it up high, Adkins, and now in turn for Coles.
Just great man-to-man defense right now from LaSalle.
Adkins puts it on the deck. Around the arc he goes. And now for Coles, some great defense by LaSalle. McCorkle out to Mangold. 1-on-1 out on the perimeter. He tries to back in. He'll draw the double high, low, and it goes to Furman.
Good back cut by Furman right there, and a good Good interior pass by Mangold.
18-10 on the assist by Mangold. Furman gets his first bucket of the night. Here's Lovett with the ball, top of the key, works in on McCorkle, goes to the rack, and one!
Not too many times does McCorkle get beat on the dribble, but he did just there, and that just shows you how good of a player Lovett can be.
So I harken back to the game you and I did, the Withrow game in the opening round. And that was at a time when there was a little back and forth between the two teams. And on a breakaway, I can't remember who made the initial shot, but it was a bad miss off the glass. He came in at 6'2" and threw it down with both hands. To me, that is the most impressive thing I've seen this season as an individual effort outside of the game effort.
Sure. He's got a couple high flyers at guards in the GCL South.
20-10, they work into Alex, he draws a double team, they kick him out. Here's Johnson, a straight on three!
Starting to take the saran wrap off these lids a little bit here tonight. Seemed like the first game nobody could score, and started to look that way here in this ball game, but now we're cooking.
Nate gets his first bucket, he's got 5 points overall. 20-13 is your score. Lovett draws a double team. He throws it out for Eddings. He fires three off the mark. Tap back over for Mangold. Outlets Johnson. Coming off the left wing. Spins in the lane. Did he travel? He carried the ball.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate event. Unfortunately, from where we're sitting, it's tough to see, but it's a situation where at some point you got to start attacking the rim if you're East when you get the ball in transition like that. And there's nobody better, in my opinion, in the GMC perhaps than Nate Johnson going downhill.
2:15 to play here in this first half, 20-13. As Trace alluded to, we're broadcasting from a baseline, so even though your pitcher shows the center court, and here's Furman on the breakaway, he throws it up and good!
That's how you steal points. Those are little bunnies, if you will. These games, it's so tough to get a basket in the half-court offense with these teams as the crowd comes alive just a little bit here.
Wayne Jr. has it against Adkins. They play it around the arc and keep it outside. Eddings with the ball now. He backs off on the dribble against Furman. He works around Caden. He dumps it off now for Lovett. Lovett lost it. Mangold throws it up front for Johnson. Coming off the left wing. He lost the handle, and it'll be turned over the other way. If only he had a little more stickum on that left hand.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. It's back-to-back times they've had the opportunity in transition to score, and Johnson just hadn't been able to figure it out.
There's a little hot potato down on the far end from us. 1:32 to play here in this first half. 20-15, LaSalle by 5. Queen Jr. plays it out to Eddings. And it's a lot of the starting five and Devin Taylor here in this ball game. It's the starting five out on the floor now for LaSalle. Schneider has it, free throw line extended. Out to Eddings on the high screen from Schneider. He draws the double. Queen Jr. will back off against Nate Johnson. Lovett now in turn for Lemons. 1 minute to play here in this first half.
Now do they hold for the final shot with 50 seconds left? It's kind of wild in high school basketball.
No shot clock, low scores, especially in a game like this where defensive presence and on-the-ball defense is particularly strong. 38 seconds to play here in this first half. So Coles will come in on the ball handler, and Lemons will toss it out to Eddings, and now Lovett. 25 seconds to go. They really are milking this clock. Coles works on the ball handler. He rolls to the right, beats a 5-second count. Eddings threw it away to Johnson. Up front, up ahead for Mangold, laying it in.
That's a big basket. You got to get a stop, though. You got 9 seconds left if you're East. You got to get back in defense.
20-17, Eddings top of the key. Here's a drive. Lemons shut off. Here's a three from the corner. No good for Schneider. And this first half has come to a close. Your score after one half of basketball here in this regional semifinal. It's the LaSalle Lancers 20 and the Lakota East Thunderhawks 17. We'll take a break. Coming up at the half, it'll be our main man, Reed Mouse. We'll take you through halftime. It's the March to Columbus here on Chatterbox Live. Just mere moments away from the start of the second half on our March to Columbus here on Chatterbox Live, along with Trace Fowler. I'm Geoff Kim. It's the nightcap of our regional semifinal, LaSalle and Lakota East, and this one has lived up from a competitive standpoint to all advanced billing.
Certainly so far. I mean, it seemed like LaSalle kind of got out to a good run there, and you felt like perhaps they were going to extend the lead to a decent margin, and then all of a sudden East found a little bit of momentum, and as we suspected, it's going to be a tight basketball game. I'd be completely shocked if it gets above 10 at any point here in the second half.
Away we go here in the second half. Jalen Lemons, who has the ball. He's the leading scorer in this ball game with 6 points. Queen Jr. has it and now plays it out for Eddings. It's really been the starting five and a little bit of Devin Taylor here for LaSalle here in this ball game. Schneider sets the screen. They keep it around the arc. Coming up on a half minute gone by here in this third. The kick out to Eddings. Quick touch pass back up on top for Lovett. He'll back out on the dribble against Caden Furman.
Good steal.
Steal by Furman. Up front, coming off the left wing. To the rack he goes, and no good. The rebound put back McCorkle.
The Lancers very fortunate that wasn't an and one on McCorkle, as it looked like he got hit pretty good on the wrist.
1 point affair with a minute gone by here in this third. 20-19. McCorkle gets his first. Lemons has the ball up high on the right. Checking in, and that man defense is playing really tight right now. Lovett has it up high on the right. Dribbles back to the middle of the floor. And Lakota East fans coming alive. Lemons lost it and stolen away by Alex. Mangold tosses it up front and waits for the rest of his troops. Now here comes McCorkle. He comes back to the left side, goes to Johnson looking, skips it on over for Furman. Furman lost it out of bounds to the sideline.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was helter-skelter the entire time they got past half court, and you got some momentum. There's no reason not to perhaps just take your time, get a good handle of it, but Johnson had Furman over across the court there wide open, and unfortunately just kind of got away from him. See if LaSalle can't kind of have a counter punch back.
1 point affair, 6:20 to play here in this third. 20-19. Lovett off the high screen by Snyder. It was a token one and returns it out. It looks like Taylor's into the ball game. Devin Taylor gets a touch. Of course, he had the big three to send the game in overtime against St. X, and here's a drive and a score by Lovett.
It's a good move by Lovett. Gets to his right hand and uses his body.
22-19. Johnson, McCorkle, Coles. Furman. We keep it out. And again, we're out on the baseline, so we're actually blocked away from a shot that you would actually see. Here's Johnson on the drive to the rack, and no good. The ball tapped around, out of bounds. It'll stay up front. Snyder the last to touch it.
That he was, and one of those ones that hangs on the rim for quite some time and just falls over the edge, and you look at the rim and you wonder how in the world that happened, but I like the aggressiveness from Johnson.
Baseline out of bounds, the lob entry to Johnson. Two hands it over for Trevor Howard, back to Johnson.
They got a mismatch inside if they can get it to Mangold.
Furman out on the outside. Lemons actually got a little touch of his hair. That was hilarious out there on the perimeter. Here's Johnson back outside. Coles on the drive to the rack, the runner, no good. Queen the rebound.
Good look though, he got inside and 4 foot, even though it was fading away a little bit, not too difficult of a shot, and East is starting to get some better looks on the offensive end in the half-court sets.
We are moving at a very brisk pace here through this third, 22-19, and a score by Lemons. He's got 8 to lead all scores, 24-19, a 5-point lead. At one point in the first half, we saw a double-digit lead, so we'll see if East can answer with a punch of their own. Howard bounce feed inside. Mangold skips it outside back to Coles. Checked by Devin Taylor. They work it back to Mangold outside the arc on the right, and now Johnson gets a touch, puts it on the deck. He pops 18 feet straight on.
Just good defense, though, by the Lancers. I mean, obviously, East scored, but again, impressed with just how good these two teams are defensively.
And they're not giving them a lot of room on the inside.
Certainly not. They're just packing it in and playing good team defense.
Lemon spun around by Howard. He'll have to give it up. Taylor puts it on the deck. Eddings throws it down in the paint for Snyder. Works in on Mangold. Gives it up. Shot put up. No good. The back tap belongs to East. Here's Furman. Dumps it off for Howard.
Pass.
Back outside for Coles. Coles skips it outside. Furman a baseline three. He knocks it down. We're tied.
That's what East does well. If they can get in transition and find their shooters outside. Furman, you heard Coach Van Winkle talk in the broadcast there at halftime, and he has got to be aggressive. He catches the ball outside the arc. He did that just there.
We're knotted up at 24, 3:20 to play here in this third, and the defense has come alive, and so has the Lakota East crowd. Eddings feeds inside Snyder. Nowhere to go around Mangold, and they'll keep it back outside. Eddings gives it up and gets it back. He'll give it back up for Lemons. Checked by Trevor Howard. In for Eddings, and now outside for Queen. A straight-on shot.
Beautiful
good.
jump shot.
So Queen responding with a three of his own to make it 27-24 LaSalle.
The rotation just on that basketball was picture perfect, and we had a beautiful angle right behind.
Johnson plays Coles. Checked by Devin Taylor. I think Pat Godey called him the best athlete he's ever coached.
Yeah,
That's
he did.
High praise.
Very high praise.
Bad spacing by East right now, but Johnson clears out. He goes to the rack. He missed the dunk. The ball's tapped back to Furman. He goes up strong to the rack and one!
Big bucket by Furman, and again, the aggressiveness by Johnson started to open that up just a bit. Granted, I don't know if he went for the dunk there because it didn't seem like he had a prayer's chance to finish the dunk, so perhaps it slipped out of his hand a bit. I don't want to say that he attempted a dunk there because it didn't look like he had much of a chance to finish, but Furman with the cleanup.
So Caden will go to the line. The foul's on Aiden Snyder. And Caden's been awfully good at the stripe here in this postseason. 15 of 16. That's 94%. He misses. The rebound, the putback Coles. And East leads. Wow.
That's a cheapie right there, if you will.
Yes, but it's a lead. 28-27 by Coles on the bucket with 2 to play here in this third. Here's Lovett to the rack and good.
What a drive. On what I said perhaps is definitely the best on-ball defender that I've seen in the league from the GMC this year, and that's high praise to be able to beat a man like that.
Fourth lead change to this contest, 29-28. Furman outside the arc.
Good shot.
Howard bout to Coles. Stuck out there by Lovett.
Thought Coles had a good enough look there to perhaps shoot it.
Adkinson in the ball game. Mangold skips it over to the far side. It goes to Coles in the lane. Is it a charge or a block?
They're going to get a block here down low, and I thought they might call a charge just based off the fact that Coles kind of lowered his shoulder. I don't think Lemons was in position per se, but I definitely do think that it's one of the hardest calls in sports. We've talked about it multiple times. Pass interference perhaps rivals it, but the block charge call is tough.
Especially in that crease. That's 2 team fouls against LaSalle here in this third. Charlie Kenrich is back into this ball game for East. Furman pops 3 left wing.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it.
He's got 12 to lead all scores, 31-29. 5th lead change of this ball game.
And for the few folks that came, they are making a little bit of a dent in this gymnasium with some noise.
Queen making his move, spin dribble,
move.
baseline. He throws it up, no good. Ball tapped around and saved by Coles. Into the forecourt he goes. He'll have to wait for the rest of his troops. Now back outside for Furman. Furman got away with a push-off right in front of us. 2-point lead for East, under a minute to play.
What a quick third period.
It has moved awfully fast. Here's Furman up high on the right. He's shown the ability to take over late in games down these playoff stretch games.
He has. We've seen him hit some big shots.
20 seconds to play. Here's Howard. He'll leave the ball for Furman. Checked by Eddings.
Wonder if LaSalle's going to run a trap here towards the end of this to try to get it out of Furman's hands.
10 seconds to play.
See if they don't double him.
He looks for a screen. He gets one from Kenrich. Out to the right point. He gives it on up. Here's a drive for Adkins, and we turn it over.
Yeah, he walked. Just kind of got the ball in a little bit of a weird position and took one too many steps.
Right on his hip there. 3 seconds to play.
I'll tell you what, you're in danger zone here if you're East with this bunch with the half-court shots I've seen.
Here's Snyder to throw it in. Lemons, top of the key, fires from 35 off the side of the rim, and this third period has come to a close. It's Lakota East with a 2-point lead, 31-29. This is the March to Columbus here on Chatterbox Live. 8 more minutes in regulation for this one. 31-29 here in this regional semifinal between LaSalle and Lakota East. Along with Trace Fowler, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for the March to Columbus here on Chatterbox Live. The winner of this one will take on number 1 Moeller on Saturday. That should be a doozy no matter who comes out of this one.
Absolutely. I think both of these teams can put forth at least a sizable fight, right? I think everybody's talked about, whether Big Mo can be beat or whether they can't. It's a tall task. Let's not say it's not, but ultimately, you have a LaSalle bunch out here that they certainly feel like they're capable, considering they only lost by a bucket. And then you have East, who, let's face it, they won a tough league in the GMC, and they got to come in at least somewhat confident, I'd assume.
Well, do you like the first Rocky movie? I asked this because we have yet to see a team go the distance against Moeller. And here's
he's
steal.
Out of bounds.
And Lovett comes off the right sideline.
Yeah, he's out of bounds.
bounds.
Yeah, he's out of bounds. I was going to say, I'll say this. I was 100% on that call, and if they didn't call him out of bounds right there, then I'm not sure what the referees was looking at, but he's seen it, and he got it right.
Furman will toss in. Side out of bounds to the left, and now Johnson has it. Just about 17 seconds gone on by here in this deciding fourth quarter. We say deciding, but we'll call it regulation at this point. Furman has it top against Eddings. Puts it on the deck. Furman gives it up, gets it back.
Good post pin
Holds
tree.
Inside for Mangold. Gives it up for Johnson. Throws up the runner. No good charge.
That's the right call. And I thought perhaps Mangold had the angle right there, and if he'd have just taken a power dribble and went up with it immediately, he would have either gotten fouled, in my opinion, or he'd have just put the ball right through the hoop. But instead, he kind of took a little bit of a dribble. I guess LeBron would call it a crab dribble, but a little bit of a dribble and a spin back to the middle. He did hit Johnson, but I thought he could have gone up with it right there.
7:10 to play here in regulation, 31-29. Queen Jr. outside the arc. Lemons has it, checked by Furman. Now on over for Lovett. Trevor Howard, the great on-the-ball defender on him. And we've now associated the word great with him.
I believe it. I tell you, I've watched enough.
They work into Queen outside the arc, and now here's a chipper. Snyder nails it.
Tell you, that kid can play now. I got some length to him, and I tell you, you said the ankle wasn't a factor, but I'm telling you, he's hobbling around right now.
Was it a 2 or a 3? There's some indecision right now on the scoreboard. 31 all. Right now, it's a deuce right now for Snyder. Now they put up the 3. 6th lead change of the ball game. Coles inside. Mangold lays it in.
Just good basketball at this point. This is beautiful basketball at the high school level right now. Two teams going right back and forth, right at each other's throat. This ought to shape up to be a beauty at the end of it.
Alex has 6, 33-32. Under 6 to play. Lemons on the dribble drive to the rack and wave it off. There's a little hold before he can make his move.
Yeah, Howard again kind of got beat on the dribble drive, and I think that speaks a lot to Lovett, right? I mean, he's beaten 2 guys off the dribble tonight that I think are just incredible on-ball defenders in Howard and McCorkle. So we'll see if LaSalle can't find a way to kind of stretch the defense with three-point shot.
Trevor will come out. The lob entry. He'll come up high to Queen Jr. Dumps it off for Snyder. Checked by Mangold. Eddings will stop and go. Back out to Queen. From where we stand, it looks a little bit more like a 2-3, but it's a man out there for Lakota East.
Certainly is. A lot of patience right now. These possessions are so critical. You have to take care of the ball.
Eddings top of the key, a 1-point affair here at the Cintas Center, and a reach in by Coles.
They're going to get
Furman.
They are going to get Furman.
So they'll get the initial tap instead of the help defender. That's Caden's first.
From a team foul perspective, no one's really near the bonus. 3 team fouls for East, 2 team fouls for LaSalle.
Well, it kind of punctuates how fast that third period gone on by.
Absolutely.
It was played extremely clean. Here's Eddings trying to find the lane outside. Queen for the baseline, no good. Furman comes away with it. By the way, speaking of Caden, we saw his dad Bruce and his mom Trish. Trish is actually taking pictures for the school and for our own website coming on in. Here's Mangold to the rack, missed a shot, it was partially blocked. Queen comes away with it, up ahead for Lovett, to the rack, he throws at the runner, no good, but he drew the foul before the putback could be made. With 4:34 to play.
That he did, and Coles is coming up a little bit of hurt here. We'll see if he has to come out of the game. He's over in the corner, kind of holding his knee, and that's not what Thunderhawk fans want to see.
He's getting helped, as you see here, by Nate Johnson. So Lovett will go to the line.
You hope he just banged knees, right? Sometimes
yes.
that can feel really painful there for a short moment in time, but ultimately it will go away. You certainly hope it's no ligament situation.
So, are you a lip reader by any chance?
No, I don't do that.
So I just did see Caden, and he did. It looked like initially he lipped the words "I'm fine."
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lovett misses on the first.
You're a better lip reader than I.
Well, there's a reasoning for this. We'll have to get into that at some point here, one of two. So the reasoning is, you know, when you're far away and you're trying to understand like what players are really trying to think about, right? You just learn that there's no volume on them when they're out on the floor, even though they're talking or yelling loudly at teammates. So you just kind of learn to lip read from that. Here's McCorkle putting it on the deck, and he was held on the way to the basket.
Good dribble drive by McCorkle, and one way to beat on-ball defense that's this difficult to manage, or I should say this physical, is if you can beat your man off the dribble, it's going to either open up a three-point shot from the outside, or you're obviously going to be able to get to the rim and perhaps get to the line. Got Johnson down here in the corner.
They leave him alone, and now it's up high. Adkins touches it, and now it's McCorkle's. Now Johnson has it up high on the left. Halfway through this fourth period, tied at 33, our second tie of the contest. Checked by Eddings. McCorkle has it up high on the right, and now Furman, top of the key, between the rings, now at the X. And now for Johnson. Johnson dribble drive, he skips it outside. Adkins back to Furman, and there's a foul. That was an obvious one as Furman made his move on the hesitation, and Lovett picks up his second.
You know what's wild is there's 3:46 left here, and there might only be 4 possessions for each squad left.
Yes.
You know, it feels like it feels like the final minutes here, even though there's almost half a quarter left.
Johnson has it up high against Eddings. Furman. They work it back around. Here's Mangold for 3 off the back end, and now we've got a foul.
Yeah, they're going to get lemons for a hold down here on Johnson going for the rebound.
I believe that's his 4th, so he's in big-time trouble with 3:31 left to play here in this 4th period. Adkins to toss in. He's looking. He'll lob it in for Alex. Alex throws it up, and good.
We got a timeout by Coach Atkins, and awfully simple inbound call right there, right? Throw it up to Big Al and let him go to work.
Absolutely. Timeout. Our 8th lead change here in this ball game. And by the way, we'd like to say hello to the family of Alex Mangold, who have been listening to us all the way from New Jersey throughout this whole Thunderhawks run. So hello goes to Aunt Kim, Kayla, Diane, and Glenn Mangold, and most importantly, Alex's mom.
There you go.
Oh, by the way, we also did see Alex's mom in attendance, Nancy, and of course we always see Scott Mangold in attendance. I think I've seen him more than my own family throughout this stretch.
Certainly seems like a ritual to come to the game and find Scott and chat with us. But I tell you right now, he's got his heart probably pounding just a little bit. Although I don't know if it could pound much harder than when his son went to the line for the 2 free throws against Beaver Creek. But
by the way, Alex's sister Bryn, who's home from college from Otterbein, is also in attendance.
Seems like everyone's home from college.
So I think I'm going to be invited to the next family reunion. I think that's how that's going to work.
Well, we'll see.
Here's Eddings on out to Lovett. 3:13 to decide this one, we think. Lemons out high on the left. Trevor Howard giving him some distance. And a timeout. Charge to Pat Godey. We haven't seen a lot of timeouts here in this ball game, but this one has to come here with a 2-point ball game with 2:58 left to play.
Yeah, and it's a situation where perhaps sometimes it gets this late into the season, you're not going to change who you are, right? That's impossible. But you can put in a few sets. You can put in some wrinkles in that perhaps the opposition has not seen all year because you haven't put them in yet. This could be one of those times, right? These are very, very critical possessions, and it wouldn't be surprising if Coach Godey draws something up that East has not seen on tape before.
By the way, speaking of Pat Godey, I want to bring this up, because he was the last interview on our quadruple header Sunday night, and he had some incredibly kind words for our platform, and I can't tell you how much that meant to me personally. Certainly. So I know it got you too.
Yeah, I think anybody that comes on, that, let's be honest, LaSalle is a program we didn't get a chance to move down this far south, if you will, to GCL South. We haven't made our impact there yet. We are going to obviously work on that, but we got to start somewhere, and we started kind of in the GMC, the SWAP, in the GCL Co-Ed, and for someone like him to see what we've done, to be as appreciative of it when he hasn't really bared much of the fruit of that, was incredibly humbling and incredibly really rewarding.
I got to tell you, it was a perfect cherry to the Sunday that was our quadruple Sunday. So back to action as Lemons has the ball, checked by Trevor Howard with 2:47 to play. Schneider leaves the ball for Eddings, checked initially by Mangold. Now Furman has the assignment on him. We're getting tense here at the Cintas Center. Eddings back over for Lemons. Tries to work in, shot by Furman. Now Schneider picked up the dribble but got away with it. Dumps it off for Queen, back outside for Lemons. Dribble drive to the rack, high arcing shot, no good. Johnson the rebound.
To be fair, though, it might have looked like he walked. I really don't think that he did. It was kind of an awkward situation, but I really don't think that he did walk.
35-33. Johnson with the ball. McCorkle has a touch. Been saddled with some foul issues here for much of this ball game, but he's in here at crunch time. Howard leaves the ball for Johnson. Under 2 to play. The winner of this game takes on number 1 Moeller. Stop and go and a reach in on Lemons.
He's just very, very quick on the outside. And anytime you get in a position that you're just a half a step in the wrong place, he's going to take advantage of it. And we're getting close to the bonus. 6 fouls on LaSalle.
So I have Lemons down for 5. He is heading to the bench, though I don't know if that's to end his night or if he's got one more, actually. Devin Taylor takes his place in the lineup. Coles will throw into the backcourt for Johnson. 1:44 to play. Checked by Eddings.
That's a foul.
He rolls it in the left pocket. Furman back over for Johnson. They'll reset. Mangold top of the key. High low for Johnson. He was fouled before he could make the shot.
I think we're going to get a 1-on-1 situation, though, even though he's not going up for 2, but
fouls on Jeffrey Queen Jr., his second.
There's such pivotal free throws. These front end of the 1-and-1s, it's almost like a momentum thing more than anything, right? Is if you even make the first and miss the second one, you still feel like you salvaged something. Missing the front end sometimes feels a bit devastating and disheartening.
Well, if you recall the Beaver Creek game where Nate had an opportunity to hit a couple down the stretch, he missed them both, And then Beaver Creek went on a run to actually lead with about 30 seconds left to go in the ball game before Alex came up with the big free throws with a second and a half.
One thing you don't want to do, though, is stand at the line this long, though, if you're Johnson.
Right. One in the bonus. He lets fly. Good. What do we say about free throws?
They win the close ones.
Yes, they do. 8 points in the book for Nate Johnson, trying to make it 9. He does.
Big possession here for LaSalle. You got to find a way to get the ball in the basket.
37-33, 1:26 to play here in this fourth. Love it, top of the key, rolls to the right, into the pocket, leaves it.
Big shot.
Here's a three, no good for Queen. The rebound to Mangold.
Awfully quick, but you know what? For a guy that without him they wouldn't be here, and Queen Jr., you know, there's times when some might say, oh, that's too quick of a shot. I can promise you this, if he knocks that bad boy down, no one's saying nothing, right, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a bad, it's just, I thought it was an okay look, to be quite frank.
Mangold to the line. He's got 8 points tonight. Good. Alex is averaging about 9 points a contest here in these playoffs and about 7 rebounds. And so those points and rebounds as we got a timeout. With 1:16 to play, it's a 5-point lead for East, and that is the biggest lead they've had tonight.
That they have, and you know, give credit to East, right? They came out here and they scrapped and clawed their way back. They were, I think, were they down 10 at one point there in the first half, and really got down to it on the defensive end. You look up at the scoreboard, LaSalle's got 33. And we expected this, right? We knew that it was almost, I was going to make a joke at the beginning of this game, first 1 to 40 wins.
Right.
Now, whether that holds up here, I don't know, but it's just a testament to the hard work that gets put in between both of these programs. You can see it within the kids. You can see how the way that they act, the way that they take defense seriously, and they're playing for one another. There's not many selfish guys on the floor right now, if any, so no matter how this thing turns out, it's going to be well earned and well deserved.
38-33. It's the case of the worthy opponent, right? I mean, this is one of those games that we're watching that you don't want to see either team lose. Somebody has to win, but unfortunately, somebody has to take a loss. It's the worthy opponent that you're facing. And yes, there's a great deal of respect that we've seen through the first 30 minutes and change of this contest. Alex comes back to the line, back end of 1 in the bonus.
Per usual, the ball between the legs.
Good. Alex has 10 in the book, 39-33. Now the biggest lead of the ball game. Here's Lovett, top of the key. Shut off by Johnson. He lost it, and we got a foul.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Perhaps he got him on the finger or the arm.
Right. So Nate picks up his second. 1:07 to play. The ball will be entered in, side out of bounds to the bottom of your screen. Here's Lemons, top of the key. Back outside, Eddings, the Staines three out on the side, pocket right. Back out to Lemons, outside for Queen. A jumper from 18, no good. Ball tapped back and saved by Lemons, but it's blocked by Mangold. And initially saved, and now we've got some chaos out on the floor. It'll stay up front with 49.1 left to go.
Good block by Mangold, and Howard just had his toe on the line there as he grabbed the ball, but if you're LaSalle, you don't have to hit a three. You don't have to force anything here. Take your time, get a good shot. Good job.
Step around by Queen, outside Snyder, straight on, no good. The rebound to Lemons, or beg your pardon, Lovett, he puts it back for 2. And now we got a timeout.
What a big offensive rebound, and a couple sequences right there where East almost had the kill, if you will. If you pull down a rebound right there, you get fouled, you go to the line, you're going to be shooting another 1-and-1. Instead, you give up a few offensive rebounds and a putback, and next thing you know, we're back to 4. So if you're LaSalle here, you have a little bit of time to perhaps try to get a turnover, right? You don't have to foul immediately. I'd say you spend about probably 7 seconds, in my opinion, trying to find a way to get a trap and a turnover. Outside of that, extend this game as long as you can. I'm a proponent of trying to make it last as long as you can versus trying to get, a steal for 20 seconds. The next thing you know, you look up and there's only 17 remaining. We'll see what they decide to do, but this is when the little things matter.
39-35 out of the timeout, 37.3 left to go. Mangold to throw in underneath the hoop. It goes to Furman. He draws the foul. Queen was there, and so is number 12, Zach Branham, the quarterback of the football team, 5'10", a junior.
Talk about a stud.
Yes.
That kid's a stud.
So as soon as he came in, he'll come out.
Just protecting his players with the fouls that are already on the floor, and what a big 1-and-1 coming up here for Furman.
Caden to the line. He's got 12 points here tonight. 0 for 1 at the stripe, believe it or not. He had been so good coming on in. Perfect in the game against Beaver Creek last Sunday as he makes one. And then he was 9 of 10 in the Turpin game a couple of games ago.
So 40 to 35. Big free throw. If you hit this right here, you cannot give up a 3 if you're East. You've got to guard the 3-point line.
Good.
And I think Coach Atkins is going to perhaps talk about that. You got to, what is essentially a 3-possession game if you don't give up a 3, right? That's essentially how it works. I'm not a math whiz by any means, and I'm sure the folks at home that are watching are certainly perhaps figuring that out. But with this much time left, 35.6, I just don't think that it's hard for me to have envisioned LaSalle getting 3 baskets without East knocking down a few free throws, right? So we'll see what happens. It was only a 30-second timeout, so we're going to get back to action quick.
LaSalle got here, by the way, to this regional semifinals by beating Withrow 57-46 back on February the 21st. Middletown 60-49 on the 25th. Walnut Hills 59-55 on the 28th. And then St. X 3 nights ago in overtime 60-52. We'll see if they have one more bullet
There's
left.
The 3 ball.
Here's Eddings, no good. Mangold the rebound. He plays it to Furman. Out on the sideline, he is fouled by Eddings with 24.4 to go.
Start to smell blood a little bit right now if you're the Thunderhawks.
Nathan Adkins imploring his team to come into a huddle.
Got a double bonus situation now, so 2 free throws.
Furman made them both this last time down. First one is up, no good.
Just one. You just need to get one here to extend it to certainly a 3-possession game.
3 possessions with 24.4 makes it really hard to overcome for LaSalle.
Don't tell St. X that.
1 of 2 down this trip. 42-35.
What a smart play. Coach Atkins, I'll tell you what, I've said it for quite some time. He impresses me significantly. He knew they had a foul to give. They brought the ball down as far as they possibly could, and they took the foul, so it just eats up more clock.
Under 20 to play, straight on 3. Oh, no. Out for Lemons. And it's taken out by Furman. He is fouled from behind by Snyder with 13.7 left to go, and they're just waiting to pop the court.
How did that thing not go down?
Again, that saran wrap that we keep talking about throughout this season. Furman has 15 points. Quick look at the scorecard tells me that he's the leading scorer. He gets the first.
Now if you're East, I don't like when you allow the opposing team just to dribble straight down the court and lay a ball in, right? You got to make them move.
Got them both to make it 44-35 timeout. With 13.7 seconds left to go here to the coronation here of this regional semifinal. We already know that the winner of this one will take on Moeller. Right now it looks very much like number 2 Lakota East.
That it does, and I think it's a situation now where, like I said to you before, if you're East, you got to turn the ball handler. You got to make him turn at least one time. You can't give up a straight dribble drive down to the other court and let him lay it in with about, let's call it 3 seconds off the clock. Right. So it'd be basically 10 seconds left, 44-37. At that point, you know, it's just tough. You're asking a lot of your kids here in a situation that's probably already out of hand, but I tell you what, if anybody can do it, it's LaSalle based off of what I've already seen in the short time that I've watched them.
And hats off to LaSalle. Their starting five stayed out there for much of these 32 minutes. In fact, they came in averaging about 51, 52 of the 59 points here in the playoffs. Here's Lovett, outside Snyder for three. A hierarchy shot, no good. Ball collected by Johnson, and time will run out. Lakota East will advance to the regional final against Moeller, 1 versus 2.
Just how you drew it up, right? I think that this is the basketball game right here that we just watched that was just about how we thought it would go to a certain extent. I didn't think that it would get outside of 10. LaSalle had certain moments where you felt like they perhaps were the one that was going to take the leap, and then all of a sudden East came roaring back. But again, just a great basketball game, and again, I can't say how appreciative of we are to have been able to provide the coverage, and we're not done, because I think here shortly we will probably announce that we will be heading to UD Arena for the Division II regional semis up there tomorrow, and then certainly we'll be right back here Saturday evening.
I can't wait for this one. 44-35, the winner for Lakota East. As they improved to 25-2, they've won 15 in a row. The LaSalle Lancers bow out at 23-4. They were the worthy opponent here in this ball game, and they end their season with some good feelings here. So we're about due here for the post-game show, so we'll take care of that right here. And we'll tell you here that we want to thank our staff here before we go. Sean Spurlock, Justin Thomas, Nathaniel Hedgley, Matt Mays, George Harmon, Jacob Harmon, and Jordan Jones. Again, 44-35 is the final. Reed Mouse will take you home here in the postgame show. This is our March to Madness here. March to Columbus. March to Madness here on Chatterbox Live.